Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to PC Tech Help. PC Tech Help. Scratch that. Take two. This is the problem you have when you have 10 channels. You forget what goddamn channel you're recording for. Let's take that again from the top. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Blender Synth. Okay. That's a better start. You know what? I think just for comical reasons, I'll keep that in there. I'm not very comical usually, but that was pretty funny. If I have to admit so, it's myself. That was lit. Alrighty. Today is going to be Fluent 2.0, the new user interface. That seems to be what everyone is going hog wild over, and understandably, there's not a lot of Fluent tutorials. There's HardOps out there and BoxCutter, but and there's videos all over. But even with them, even though there's popular videos and stuff, there's only probably, I would say, 4, 5 max people that are doing tutorials on that. There's the Blender Brothers, which I'm sure you all know, and Master Xeon. And a few others here and there, have 1 or 2 videos up, but for the most part, Blender Brothers have got full courses on and a membership site, strictly basically on modeling and everything, using BoxCutter and HardOps. And Master Xeon, he puts out tutorials and stuff every time there's an update and explains everything. Goes, Fluent just doesn't have, I don't know, and I don't know what, I don't know what for, but anyway, enough of that. I like it. I like the new interface and stuff, but you also got to realize that I made this channel for number one was to teach people how to make money using Blender, and 2 to review add-ons, to do Blender add-ons, and to teach people Blender, because the people that I'm teaching to make money online with Blender, the majority of them don't even know 3D. They're looking to change, because of, the big C word that, you don't want to say when you're on YouTube. But there's a lot of people looking to change careers and stuff, because their businesses have closed down or went out of business or whatever reason. And, they got to change careers, and they don't really have another skill set. And so they're getting all into this make money online thing and, learning how to make money in various different ways and stuff. And so I figured I'd start a tutorial channel on Blender and teaching people how to use Blender. And if you're going to get into making money on Blender, you want to get into add-ons because they save you time. But anyway, enough of that. I'm not really sure, what to do on, because Fluent's not really that in depth involved or a complicated enough of a program, to have people go into debt and put as many tutorials out and everything as BoxCutter does and HardOps. Because for those of you that don't have BoxCutter and HardOps, it gets updated regularly, like once a week or at least 2 to 3 times every 2 weeks. They are constantly updating that, and because of that, it's a very large and in-depth add-on. And I'm going to show you a little bit of it here in a minute, because I told you I have a lot of add-ons, and you might see that my Blender is different than yours, and that's for a lot of reasons. For 1, because of my add-ons. 2, because 26 plus years on the computer, I I guess is giving me carpal tunnel because my right wrist is so screwed up right now that, you know, I can't really, you know, use it like I normally, you know, like I used to do on the keyboard. I can barely type with it and stuff, and so I've had to find different ways to use things. Had to use my mouse, you know, left-handed basically and stuff. And one of the add-ons. Speaking of add-ons, one of the add-ons that we'll get to Fluent here in a minute. Trust me. Just hang tight. But I'm going to explain this before people come up with questions. You know, that are new to my channel and asking, you know, saying, you know, what are you using, you know, for that? And one of the biggest reasons is my pie menus. You'll see right here. Maybe there. You see those pies, that pie right there, and there's a whole bunch of pie menus and everything. And that's a pie menu add-on that I have. And matter of fact, I'll show you it right now. I can come up here, hit this. No, I don't want to save add-on. Okay, let's play that back again. We're going to hit Properties. And, you know, I can come up here. We're going to go to User Interface. And you can see right here, this is the add-on. It's called Pie Menu Editor. I believe it's like $16 on Blender Market. I think it's on Blender or Gumroad also. But you can see it. That's what it is. Right. This is where you set them all up and everything. And like I said, I'll have a tutorial covering this add-on also. But it allows me. Oh, speaking of which, let me show you again. I'm gonna expand full screen here, and I'm gonna open up my in panel. Let's get screencast going here. Where are we at? Where did I put it? There we are. I guess we'll leave it there for now. Oh. But you can see, I use my mouse with my, watch the mouse down there in the bottom left. I use my mouse with my left hand, you know, because I can't do a whole lot with my right. And I have my right hand on the right side of the keyboard on the Alt. My index finger is on the Alt button. You can see right there, Option. I'm on a Mac, by the way. That's why it says Option instead of Control. But I hit Option and the backslash, which are right close together. And that's how I get this main pie menu. And you can see my end panel is right there at the number 3, right here at this bottom corner. And that opens my end panel, and I can go back, and that closes my end panel. And I can close this screen over here by doing the same thing and hitting full screen, and that takes me back to my full screen. And I have a second combination, which is the Alt and the period. And that brings my add-on menu, which, you know, you can see HardOps Pie at the top, KitOps at the left, Machine Tools at the right, and Fluent on the bottom. And there's a whole set of other menus on here for scripts and a bunch of other, you know, stuff that we won't get into. Those are more intermediate and advanced topics, really, in Blender. I can show you Fluent. I can go to my add-ons right here and hit Fluent and go to the top and see there's the Fluent menu. Instead of me hitting F, you know, because like I said, that will require my left hand, which means I got to take my hand off of the mouse, hit F, bring my hand back onto the mouse, and do something, and then go back to the F and hit that, and everything. And when I could just keep it like this. Now this is going real slow because I'm recording, but I can do this pretty lightning quick. I can pull it up like that, go there, then go up, and then bam, I can do it as quick as, you know, someone hitting F, you know. But because my recording software is running, it's bogging my system down a little bit. And same with the other menus. Same with the pie menu, like right here for the end panel and stuff. That goes a lot quicker when I'm not recording. But and you've seen people online, you know, that are used to their menu systems and their pies and stuff, you know, the pie menu systems can move real quick, and when you're used to them and stuff. And I've gotten used to this. But if you see these menus popping up like this, and you see me doing stuff, even going into edit mode. See over here, edit mode. I don't have anything put in there, but that's even on this pie menu too. I can go right here, add primitive, and you know, hit cube. This is not Fluent, by the way, but and you see it puts a cube in there. But let's just reset everything so we get a clean slate and don't confuse add-ons here. But anyway, you get the idea of that. And like I said, I've got add-ons galore. You know, for Blender, I've got like every add-on out there. As you can see, you know, from my end menu, you know, you can see this is full. Let me pull it out even more for you. You can see this is completely full with all kinds, you know, it's just crazy. Auto Rig Pro, you know, for rigging characters and animals and pretty much anything you want to rig and so forth. This is tutorials getting way out of hand, but for those of you that know me, this is usually how my tutorials go. I digress a lot. I should script. I had never gotten any comments on my videos on whether you guys say I should script my videos or not so I can stay on track. I probably wouldn't totally stay on track, but I could probably do it 50% of the video at least, which would cut down some. But anyway, let's get to doing Fluent. I don't know what I'm going to do with Fluent because CG Seb and CG Thought on Fluent, you know, put out tutorials already this week or this last weekend on Fluent on modeling a box or a crate and stuff and everything, which pretty much covers which pretty much covers Fluent. Now, I could go more in depth into Fluent because a lot of people are having issues with Fluent, and now you guys that are having, you know, that are serious about learning 3D, first of all, listen carefully to what I'm about to say. If you've skipped past this part on the video, you're going to miss out on a very important point. For those of you that are having trouble with Fluent or any add-on in Blender, any add-on, even if it's auto rig, it doesn't matter what, it doesn't have to be for subsurf, it doesn't have to be for HardOps or hard surface, it doesn't have to be, you know, for anything. If you're having trouble understanding or anything and with any add-on or Blender itself, and I'm going to get into these videos. A lot of people call them boring and they don't want to watch them. And this is why you have problems with 3D and not just Blender. I've also started doing Houdini, and I've never used Houdini before. But all I have to do is learn the user interface and learn where things are. All of the terminology, that when I open a brand new menu and I see what's in that menu, all I got to do is read it. When I read it, I know exactly what it does. And that comes from experience with 3D. And that's what you got to know. Forget the program you're working in. You need to learn how 3D works in depth. Not just, oh, that's a vert. Oh, that's an edge. And that's a face. Oh, I got it. It's simple. No. Take the vert. What is that whole vert made of? Does it have faces too? Does it have normals? Does it have X, Y, and Z direction? Well, yes, it has all of those. That one little vert has all of those. And when your shading is not working out, it's because of that that's contributing to that. But that's for you guys to dive on, and we'll get into Fluent. A quick tutorial of Fluent. Now, after all of that, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Just to get started here. We're not going to go too into depth in that. This has already went on, you know, too long of my diversions and everything, but I'll try to do the shortcuts so, you know, most of you don't get confused. Instead of doing, oh, no, my add-ons instead of going this route like that, I'll just push F for you guys so you don't get too confused. But first of all, for those of you that are watching this from YouTube that have probably searched for this, because I assume that everybody on Fluent's Discord has already seen, and they know how to use Fluent and everything. And so a lot of people probably stumbling onto this video probably from YouTube that has searched Fluent and stumbled, for the first time or whatever, and stumbled on it. So if I'm the first person that you saw showing you Fluent, let's get that out of the way. So we're going to bring up Fluent, go over here to a Create, and we're going to right-click on or anywhere, actually. We're going to right-click, and that's going to put the grid down right here. Now, there's shortcuts for most all of this stuff, but we'll get to that later. Over here, if you haven't saw, since it's way far out of my way, someone told me that I should increase my resolution because my screen's hard to see, because I record my full monitor, my high definition. So sorry about that, whoever said that on the Discord. I just now remembered it, but like I said, I'll try to remember for the next video. But you click on this top button for rotation, and you'll get these that I'm sure you're familiar with. Click on the right button one time, just click, don't hold it or anything, just click it and move. And you'll see it'll turn, and you can see the number on the right side right there. Those are degrees, 65 degrees. So we're going to go to 90. Right there is 90 degrees, and hit, and then come back over here and click this check mark to validate. And that puts, you can see, that puts, you'll see, because this is what you're going to draw on. Now, these dots are how you're going to align everything. If you want to add more dots, hold down the V key and drag your mouse, just like this, and your dots will increase. Then take your hand off the V key, and now that's set, and you got more dots, and you can do things. Now you can put your mouse way up here, and where and you click, you click once, and then let go, and then you drag, and that'll draw your box. But if you want it centered, you can start from the center here, click, and then release, and then drag your mouse, and hit the Shift key, and that will center it. And then keep dragging to however big you want it. Let's just say right here, and then left click one more time, and that sets it. Now we're going to drag the mouse left or right, and you can see that we're getting width. Left click again and hold the mouse down, and this menu pie will come up when you're holding. If you let go of it, then it goes away. So you got to hold the mouse down, and then move your mouse over here to this check mark and validate. Now let's do another popular thing since we got here. And you can see the translucence on the cube here. That means we're still in edit mode. We can edit this still. Now I can right click on the mouse, and that will set it. So now it is a box, and we're back into object mode, and we're not in Fluent no more. But that's all right. Left click on the box, highlight it, go back into Fluent, and up in the top right here, you can see we got Fluent Editor. Click on that, and that takes us right back into the editor here. Now when you left click on the box or anywhere where it's translucent, you'll get a bigger menu, that has width. Like let's say we're not happy with that width, or we can hit S if we don't want to hit the button here. You can see we can go back over here like this. You can click on it and just hit S now, and that will bring up this first solidify. And just like I said, move your mouse left and right, not up and down, and you can increase your width. You can make it wider, you can make it smaller, and then again validate. Every time you do something, you're going to have to validate. Now let's before we go any further, well, actually let's do one more thing. Something that's really popular done is beveling. A lot of people like the corners beveled, and we can bevel them in different ways. But we're going to hit the mouse, go up here to first bevel, sorry about that, and then click it, and we're going to bevel. And you can see it'll start rounding out. Now, if you want chamfer bevels, you can come up here and hit C. Then that'll give you just one angle bevel. And the white dots in the top, we're going to get into that probably in another video, because this video is already probably went too long because of my rambling. But we'll get into another video. But again, let's just say this is what we want. This is good. We can again hit this and go to the check. But you can see we got more options with segments, straight, concave, and all that stuff. And again, we'll cover that in a different tutorial. But I've already showed you the check mark. You got to right click and then go over to the check mark. But if you know that you're done and this is what you want, and you want to go back to object mode, you can just right click on it and it'll automatically finish it and take you out and put you into object mode. And this is what we got so far. Now, I'm going to go back into edit mode here on Fluent. Well, actually, no, we're going to stay in object mode, because we're going to, when I told you guys you need to go down deeper in understanding the add-on, and that involves basically the developer. Fluent, it works a certain way. HardOps works a certain way, and all the other hard surface add-ons out there work a certain way, and that's the way that the developer developed them. How they programmed them. And you understand, if you understand, or if you can't understand, what the add-on is doing when it's making its geometry, then you can better understand and troubleshoot problems that you're having. So that's what we're going to do right now, and then I'll probably call it done on this video for now, because I don't want to pack a whole bunch of stuff into one video. We're going to take things one step at a time so we can understand them and grasp them before moving on, and that way it gives us an overall understanding of the add-on, and we're able, after a month or so, we're able to do anything and everything in Fluent, and no matter what happens or what error we get or anything, we can figure it out. So that's our goal. So here's our first, let's call it in-depth lesson. We're not going to activate Fluent. We're actually going to go into edit mode. And you see right here, let's say I wanted to select this vertex right here. I click on it, but I can't select it. I click on this face. I can't select it. And that's because technically these aren't here. These aren't actually geometry yet. We can make them be if we apply all the modifiers, but they're not geometry yet. You see this one loop right here? Well, this is the loop that we drew on that grid, which turned it into a plane. And this is how Fluent objects are created. They're created by a plane. You shape your plane and the shape that you want, whether it's a square, a circle, or whatever, on the grid. You can do it in a shape also. There's a shape button in the menu, and like I said, we'll get to that. We'll get to all the tools and all the buttons eventually in time, but let's understand things one step at a time. But what you create on that grid is what's going to be the actual geometry that's created in Blender, which is going to be a plane, no matter what shape it's in. It could be a solenoid, a fractoid, it could be anything. But it's going to be a plane, and everything from that is going to be created with add-ons. Well, not add-ons, modifiers. And let me show you that right now. I'm going to pull up my menu here. We're going to go back into object mode. And see, I don't have my sidebar open because I like using. I do so much stuff. I do special effects, movie special effects, and all that stuff. And this is also why I have a large screen, because I need all this real estate. When I'm working on things and everything, because I like, I don't like my screen crowded, basically. But what was I going to do? Oh, yeah, we're going to understand that plane. So how did we get from that plane to this? Well, this is what I'm going to show you right now. And we're going to use HardOps. For this. We're going to go up here to the HardOps and go to their preference. And this is why, because anytime I need the preferences window, this is why I said HardOps is more in-depth than Fluent, because like they've got a whole, it's a large program with a whole bunch of stuff. And this is one of them, its own preferences window. But we can go over here, and it shows us, even Fluent, it shows us, well, it might go away now, but let me go back. Yeah, let me move. Let's move this over to this side here. My computer's bogging down because of my recording software. But let's go back into this again. Now, watch the cube here that we made. And we see right here the first bevel, second bevel, or bevel 1, bevel 2, bevel 3, and then solidify. So what it did, it took that plane that we drew, and first of all, if we click on this right here on the solidify, oh no, not that one, the viewing, you can see there's our plane, our simple plane. So all it did was what we drew, well, we drew a square, but we put bevels on it. But it took the shape that you drew, and all it did was basically solidified it with a solidify monitor. That's all it did. And all these other ones, they're independent bevels. So you look at this top left corner right here. When we turn this off, you can see that's all it is. And the same with this one is the next one, the other corner, then the bottom left corner or right corner. It's going clockwise, so also remember that. But that's all it is. It's our plane that we drew, a solidify monitor or modifier, and then 4 vertex bevels. And you know those 4 dots that we saw that I told we'll get to later? Well, this is what we're doing right now. Each one of those dots is the vertex for this corner. This dot would have been the vertex for this one. That other dot would have been the vertex for this one. And we could, when we're in that edit stage in Fluent, we can access each one of those dots independently, and we can bevel this corner right here and keep this corner as one bevel, a chamfer basically, or we can keep these top 2 as chamfers, and we can bevel these bottom 2. We can do things independently because these are all independent bevels, and we can open them up. Let's take the bottom here. We can open this up, and you can see right here on the offset, it's 742 or 0.472. But we can take this and move it back and forth, and you can see down there that we're moving it around. But let's go back to 0.72, what it was. Oh, you know what? It's good. Yeah, we should have done that in Fluent. But anyway, I was using HardOps on another. I was using HardOps, but this is, like I said, this gets complicated because on my actual machine that I use, this is on my local computer, which isn't a power. It's a stock 2015 iMac. It doesn't have a built-in graphics card and stuff. But this is what I test and do stuff on. But with serious work, or when I'm doing client work and stuff like that, I got a cloud computer that I rent by the month. That it's got a Tesla T4 16 gigabyte RAMs, and yeah, and it's a Xeon, a 3 megahertz Xeon computer and stuff, and that's my power machine that I do all my actual work on. But anyway, and I have that set up because, like I said, I'm also a developer. So since I have Fluent and HardOps and other add-ons and stuff, when I want them to interact with each other and stuff, I can't ask the developers to do that. But when I need it to do it, I just go in and code it myself. if I want like HardOps to interact with Fluent, or whatever. If I want HardOps to work with AutoRig, or whatever I want and stuff. I've pretty much learned the add-ons that I need to learn, that I know I'm going to be customizing, and I just change them. That's it. I just change them for my benefit. But that's all there is for now. That's all I wanted to show you guys. Since, like I said, since CG Thought and Seb are both putting out tutorials, and I think Seb said he's going to put out a tutorial again tomorrow in the Discord. So that'll probably be another tutorial that covers all of the modeling and how to do things and like that. And I'm going to try to make, since to be different, so we're covering all the bases. I'm going to go more in depth in Fluent, like I did here, and we'll explain things independently on how each thing works and stuff like that. Because it's easier to like if you had a problem making this, like a bevel wasn't working or anything like that. Well, now the basics. You know how this is made. This is not made solid like you would be thinking. You're like, oh, wait a minute. No, all I did was make a plane, and it's actually just from that plane. All it's doing is just using modifiers to build what I want using the menus. So if I got a problem with a bevel or my width or what, it's basically we can open it back up. Like if you got a problem. Oh no. Not the end panel. Let's open up the full screen. Go over here in these. If you got a problem, with it, it's going to be in here. Let's see if it'll reset it for me here in Fluent. No, yeah, I broke the connection. But anyway, you get the problem. Whatever you're trying to fix, except for this case, like I said, I messed it up because I used HardOps to change a Fluent modifier, and that's why you got this F right here. That's why you have that, because that's Fluent, and HardOps has the HOP prefix and stuff, and that's for programming. You get into classes and stuff like that and program, but but anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, as a developer, I understand why this naming convention is like this and all that. But that's another topic entirely, also. But that's getting into classes and stuff, which unless you're going to be programming, you don't really need to get into. But this is what will make your life much easier in Blender. Period. Forget an add-on. If you just understand how things are built in Blender, and basically things are built either by drawing a plane or adding an object, like adding a cube, like I did over here. We can do the same thing by adding a cube over here, and let's just move it out. Adding a cube over here like this. Now we can work on this whole thing, and we can even go into edit mode with it. Well, man, the recording software is really bogging my little bitty computer down. But now, see, we can go into edit mode with it. And now we got faces and vertices and everything, because this is not a Fluent object, or it's not a HardOps object, or anything like that. It's not none of that stuff. It's a Blender object. It's made whole. It's a whole cube. Whereas, let's open this back up. Whereas, Fluent is using modifiers to build whatever you're building, to build everything. Once you draw in the plane on the grid, it's gonna, whatever you do to it, it's just basically going to add a modifier, whatever it is. Or other programs use geometry nodes, or everything is built differently. That's all I got. I don't want to get too complicated into everything here, but we'll go ahead and reset here since we screwed this all up, or I've screwed it all up already. But I just want to show you, because a lot of people ask me also, how come you have, you don't keep your panels out and stuff like that? Because I can keep this right here, and every single thing I need to access, I can do it through my pie menus right here. Everything. Like if I want, like the origin, I can go over here to here and here, and there's my cursor and origin button. See, everything is here. Snapping. Here's my snapping. I can go over here like this, and here's my view. Orientation, pivot points, and transform, and everything is in that menu pie system that I told you about, pie menu editor. That's why I don't have all this stuff open and I have full screen, because just because I have full doesn't mean that I don't have access to all these things. And even my add-ons, like like I showed you, I got access to Fluent right here also. So hope you guys enjoyed this long, unnecessarily digressive video on Fluent. Yeah, this is what to expect. Now, the next one will be more on Fluent, because, like I said, I've covered all. I don't expect me to talk about these add-ons and stuff. And if anyone asks about how what's your pie menu or what then I'll just direct them back to this video, and they can watch this video and understand all of that. For my second tutorial on Fluent, hope you guys enjoy this one and enjoyed learning about it. And for any of you that have any problems or put them in the comments, because I'm doing like 20 different things, nowadays. I got 10 different YouTube channels. If you want to see them, go to my homepage on Blender Synth here, and the first shelf below my video, you can see my other channels. Those are my other 10 channels that I'm working on. All related, by the way, all related to making money, but just in different niches. I have an X-Plane channel where I fly X-Plane and stuff, but I use Blender to model and make planes to fly in X-Plane, and I sell those planes on the X-Plane store. And these sell for $20 or $30. But you get, you can't. I don't want to be rude, for those of you that are still watching this at this point, but I don't want to be rude or anything like that, but you can't be the type of person that hits Discord and forum boards up every time you're stuck on a problem. If you want to be a developer, which is what this would be, if you're creating planes to sell, or even creating add-ons to sell, you're no longer a hobbyist, a Blender hobbyist or 3D hobbyist. You're a developer, and you're expected to know all of this stuff on your own. In other words, when you get stuck with a problem, who answers it? You answer the problem. You're a problem solver now. When your program's not working right, when your code's not working right, you figure it out. And that's how you educate yourself. That's how you get better at programming. That's how you get better in 3D. That's how you get better at understanding Blender and what it's doing. And you just progress from there. You get better and better. Your products get better and better, and everything just gets better. You create planes better, or you create scenery better, or whatever it is, your animations, whatever it is you're doing. The more you dig into it and learn on your own, the more you learn about how Blender works and operates. And even figuring out someone else's add-on, like I did with HardOps and Fluent. I told you on my other machine, I integrate programs, that if they don't work together, I integrate it. Just like HardOps. Some reason I got a lot of phlegm today. We do have like 30-mile-an-hour winds here in Vegas today, so maybe the weather's bothering me. But HardOps had this into their menu system, where you can pull up one of their menus and you can go into, actually, I don't know. Am I going to be able to do it from here? Let's see. Pull up the menu system. I think I'm in the wrong view. I think I need to be in a different view. But anyway, asset loader. Yeah, right here they got asset loader. And you can see asset multi-loader, KitOps, decal machine, PowerLink, and other add-ons that I have. It has already scanned my add-ons, and it knows what add-ons that I have that it can work with. and I can access those from KitOps. I mean, from HardOps. In other words, I can go into that HardOps menu, and I can pull up the KitOps menu and do something in KitOps right there while I'm working in HardOps. And that's one of the things I told you about KitOps and BoxCutter being more complicated than Fluent, and that's why there's more videos on HardOps in them, because there's a lot more to learn in that than there is in Fluent. But anyway, for those of you that are subscribers to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified when I do upload, like today. And you can get notified if you want to keep up on add-ons and what add-ons you should get or shouldn't get. And if you do have an add-on, more than likely I'll be covering it. So like I said, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and hope you like the videos, and we'll see you next time.